Hello and welcome to Vitamin Om Yoga. I'm Aisha Molina, and this is a class for when your sinuses are angry with you. Because we can do yoga even when we're not feeling our best. Now, I'm not a doctor, so if you need to go to a doctor, please do so. But if you just need a little bit of relief from sinus congestion, then you can try this class. And a couple of just things I want to tell you is, before we get into it, press pause when you need to. If we're staying in one pose for too long or for not long enough, use the fact that this is a recording to your advantage. So, I got lots of stuff here. I'll start with that you might not need everything, but it's nice to have a blanket, especially if you're on a little bit of the cold side, and to tuck you in. My cat is currently occupying my yoga blanket, so I just grabbed whatever blankets. And then I got just like a random extra pillow and 2 bolsters, and I think we'll at least use 1 bolster. You might want to use some blocks. Press pause if you need to grab more stuff. I also have a box of tissues here, and this class does involve blowing your nose, and then some water in case you need a little bit of the hydration, and perhaps consider going to wash your hands, because just always a good thing to do when you are congested. So. All right, we're gonna start in a seat up against the wall. So maybe this is time already for your bolster and your blocks. It is up to you. I want you to be comfortable. So my normal way to cue a seat, if you've done the breath work, is to sit up on something a little high and support your knees. And then for this, we're gonna tuck ourselves in to our blanket. And lean up against your wall. Get comfortable, and when you're ready, close your eyes. And do those last little adjustments that are needed for you to feel supported and at ease. Relax your shoulders. Relax to the best of your ability, your face, your spine, your hips. And it's okay if you feel a little extra tense. It's okay if you don't feel at your best. We are not judging, but we are just going to spend a moment observing ourselves here. So just allow your breath to be relatively natural and let your mind's eye wander within you and around you. Good. We're just staying here, leaning into the support of the wall. Just taking it easy, observing yourself for another couple of moments. And I know it can be hard to not get caught in the negative observations when you're not feeling the best, and it's okay, but we're still going to try to take the yogic approach and not see it as negative and positive, but to, in a more accountant-like manner, observe and feel without emotions. Very good. You can softly blink open your eyes. And I hope that in that observation you felt some stuff that just wasn't all bad. Let's address the breathing, because that is obviously a problem that you might have right now. And I think the obvious question that doesn't even have to be asked is, which nostril are you breathing in and out of as of right now? I'm gonna guess that you have one side that is, if not entirely clogged, some sort of hindrance there with air. So take a moment to figure out which nostril that is, if that is a tricky question for you. And then what we're gonna do is that we're gonna come into a side lying position. Now, I highly recommend deer, but if you need any other position, that's fine too. We're gonna lay on one side, the opposite side of which is clogged, so that you can use gravity, have gravity unclog that nostril, so that you can just get a little bit more balanced in that. And then we're gonna blow our nose. So find your side lying position. Maybe it's a deer, and that's what I'll demonstrate here. There are other side lying positions throughout this little challenge, and if there's anything else that you like, that's fine. Like you could take a supported pigeon with your nose to one side, for example. Deer is gonna be your legs in this zigzag position where one leg's above the other and both knees are bent, pointing in the same direction. Then you take your hands, one to each side, and you go ahead and lay your cheek down on one side. And I highly recommend, if you want it, if you were happy with the blanket before, you might be happy with the blanket again. So we're gonna take about 10 breaths here. That's about a minute. If you end up feeling the shift in your sinuses prior to that, you can come up and blow your nose. And if it takes longer than that, then just press pause until you feel that shift. So we actually breathe differently throughout our nostrils. It shifts several times a day, and this is just one way we can aid that shift to make it a little easier to get out. So come on down and stay and breathe. Maybe another breath or two. Or when you're ready, if you're ready, come on back up. And then grab a tissue and blow your nose. Seriously. If you don't need to, you don't need to, but you know, we're here. And then change sides. And rinse and repeat. See you in just about a minute. Very good. No rush. When you're ready, come on up again. And then if you have anything that moved and that can come out again, grab your tissue. I know it's awkward, but you know, what you gonna do? And then dispose of your tissues maybe in a pocket so your partners don't get mad at you. And then go ahead and find a seat up against the wall again. Set yourself up maybe similarly to how you did before. Lean up against the wall, close your eyes, and for a moment just notice yourself. Notice yourself and if you made any change with that. Good. So I'm hoping that you have a little bit more clear passage around your sinuses. And I want to do something that involves taking our hands to our face and massaging our sinuses. So you got sinuses sort of like below your eye sockets and above your eye sockets that can be really nice to just massage. So why don't we do that for just a few moments, whichever fingers or whatever part of the hands works. Just sort of moving above the eyebrows and maybe even a little bit on the nose towards that third eye center. And then a little circle around from the temple back to the nose underneath the eyes. And breathe. Good. We're going to move into a breath practice called Anulom Viloma, or maybe you know it as Nadi Shodhana or alternate nostril breathing. And a lot of times it's taught with a mudra. I won't even go into that right now, but we can do it with our whole hands or both of our hands. And that way we can sort of massage our sinuses to help open up the airways where we need it. And for those of you who have sinus stuff all the time, this is honestly sort of how I always do my alternate nostril practice. So play around. There's like, you can sort of like pull and touch and pull apart and lift and move around your skin, around your face, to actually get a little more air in. And if you're like, breathing's easy for me normally, then maybe today it isn't, and maybe today it helps you. All right. I'm not going to mirror you for this because it gets just too confusing, but we are going to basically do our alternate nostril breathing, just holding our hands at our face. So we'll start closing the right side and breathing, opening the left side and breathing in through the left nostril. Now here's the tricky part. You're going to close the left nostril and you're going to open the right nostril and you're going to breathe out on the right hand side. Again, in through the right and out of the left. Let's do just one more round. In through the left and out through the right. That's half a round. In through the right and out through the left. So we're essentially breathing in through the same nostril that we just breathed out of, and then we switch side. So it's not the end of the world if you mess it up a little bit here and there. And I suggest you close the eyes. So I'm going to do it without showing you, and I'm just going to tell you, close your eyes, relax your shoulders, take your hands onto your face if they're not already there. And take a big breath in through your left nostril. And when you're ready, breathe out through the right nostril. Breathe in through the right nostril. And breathe out through the left nostril. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. And out of the left. In through the left, and just keep going. Maybe you begin to breathe a little deeper. You can find your own rhythm. Side to side. No rush at all. The next time you breathe out of your left nostril, release your hands from your face and just breathe. Lean back against the wall if you're not already there. Finding this beautiful balance in between your sides. Finding balance within you, just in general. And again, observing yourself. Good. Take your palms together and give them a nice extra vigorous rub today. So we're really, really building that Agni in between the hands, really moving some fire into your palms, and then we'll transfer that to our face. And again, I invite you to rub your face just like you did before. Getting all the spots that feel good. Finally, rubbing your temples. And then spending a few extra moments on your third eye. And then release the hands. And when you're ready, come back. Hari Om, Om Shanti, with all the blessings. Thank you so much. I really hope that sort of helped you, even if it was just a little. And hope you feel better soon, and see you in the next one.